Ava Sinclair had everything: wealth, status, and beauty. The only daughter of billionaire real estate mogul Richard Sinclair, she lived in a world of designer dresses, grand ballrooms, and private jets. Yet, despite the luxury, she felt trapped in a golden cage. Liam Carter, on the other hand, had nothing but dreams. He worked tirelessly at a small auto repair shop, earning just enough to support his younger sister and sick mother. Life had been cruel, but he carried himself with pride, never letting poverty define him. Their worlds should never have collided, but fate had other plans. A chance encounter. One evening, as Ava was driving her sleek black Mercedes through the outskirts of the city, a sudden jolt made her heart jump. Her car sputtered and rolled to a stop. Frustrated, she stepped out, her designer heels clicking against the pavement. "Great! Just great," she muttered, checking her phone. No signal. A few minutes later, a motorcycle roared up beside her. The rider pulled off his helmet, revealing messy dark hair and piercing blue eyes. "Car trouble?" he asked, his voice smooth but casual. Ava hesitated. "Obviously, but I don't think you can fix a Mercedes." Liam smirked. "Try me." She watched as he rolled up his sleeves, revealing strong arms, and got to work. Within minutes, he had the car running again. "How did you?" she began. "Engines don't care if they're in a Mercedes or an old truck. They just need the right hands." He wiped his hands on a rag. "Name's Liam, by the way." "Ava," she replied. "Well, Ava, you should probably get that checked by a professional mechanic." His grin was teasing. She laughed. A genuine laugh, something she hadn't done in a while. "Thanks, Liam. Can I pay you for your time?" "Nah, just promise you won't get stranded again." And with that, he rode off into the night. A forbidden connection that night. Ava couldn't stop thinking about him. He was different from the men in her world, confident but not arrogant, kind but not subservient. She had spent years surrounded by men who only saw her as a trophy, but Liam had looked at her like she was just another person. Determined to see him again, she drove to the auto shop where he worked. Liam was surprised but pleased. "Did your car break down again? Or did you just miss me?" he teased. Ava rolled her eyes. "I just wanted to thank you properly." She held up a cup of coffee. "Peace offering?" He accepted it with a smirk, and before long they fell into an easy rhythm. She started visiting him more often, finding excuses to be near him. He made her laugh, and she found solace in his simple, honest world. But not everyone was happy about their growing bond. The wrath of the Sinclair name! One evening, Ava returned home to find her father waiting in his study, a storm brewing in his sharp eyes. "You've been seen with a mechanic," he said coldly. "He has a name," Ava replied, standing her ground. "I don't care what his name is. You are a Sinclair, Ava. You don't mix with people like him." "People like him?" she echoed, disgusted. "You mean hard-working, decent people?" "He has nothing to offer you," her father bellowed. "I've spent my life building a future for you, and you're throwing it away for some nobody." Ava's hands clenched into fists. "He is not a nobody to me. If you see him again," her father warned, "I will make sure he regrets it." Love in the shadows. Ava and Liam met in secret after that, stealing moments where they could. They went on long drives, had late-night conversations under the stars, and held hands like they were the only two people in the world. But the pressure was building. Liam hated sneaking around, hated that Ava had to choose between her family and him. One night, as they sat by the riverbank, he sighed. "Ava, I can't be the reason you lose everything." She turned to him, eyes shining. "You're not the reason, Liam. My father is. But he's right about one thing. I can't give you the life you're used to." Ava cupped his face. "I don't need luxury. I need you." Liam kissed her, a desperate, soul-deep kiss that tasted of love and defiance. But deep down he knew love alone might not be enough to fight the world they were up against. A father's last stand. The next day, Liam was fired from his job. No one said why, but he knew it was Sinclair's doing. Soon after, his mother's medical bills suddenly doubled, and his sister's college application was mysteriously rejected. Ava's father was sending a message: "Stay away from my daughter, or I'll ruin everything you love." Liam had no choice. He broke things off with Ava, telling her it was over, that he never really loved her. He saw the heartbreak in her eyes, but it was the only way to keep her safe. Ava was devastated. She tried to fight back, but her father was relentless. "He left you, Ava. I told you he would." She stared at her father, her heart shattered. "You didn't win," she whispered. "You just lost me." A love that endures. Months passed. Ava moved out, cutting ties with her father's empire. She started working on her own, determined to build a life free from his control. But nothing filled the void Liam left behind. Liam, too, was a shadow of himself. He had done what he thought was right, but every night he regretted not fighting harder. Then one day, as he walked into a diner, he saw her. Ava was sitting at a booth, stirring her coffee absent-mindedly. As if sensing his presence, she looked up. Their eyes met. Liam took a deep breath and walked toward her. Maybe love wasn't about wealth or power. Maybe it was about finding someone who made you feel like home. And this time he wouldn't let her go.